She's given us some styling advice on how you can get away with wearing your skinny jeans and still be cool.
Wait, am I though?
No! Oh my God! I just did a whole podcast episode about this so that you would feel more comfortable and other millennial women would feel happy about their skinny jeans. So yes, you will feel cool. I promise. Hello, welcome along to A Little Bit Extra. It is your pop culture podcast to escape all of the bad stuff that is happening in the world, where we can just really let our hair down, talk about our guilty pleasures, and we talk about books and music and just things that are really tooting my uterus at the moment, or as I like to say, tooting me ute. That's a catchphrase I've made up, and I also just dabbed as an almost 40-year-old woman. So someone throw me out of the podcast studio ASAP. Now, what we're going to do on a Thursday episode is we're going to be talking a little bit deeper on particular topics that are either driving me crazy, something I feel like is an important thing we should talk about, something that you have brought to me and you want me to address on the podcast. And we're going to be talking today about millennial fashion. Now, if you're sitting here being like, but I'm not a millennial, that's fine. You can listen to this and see how us millennials ran so that you could walk, okay? Or is it we walked so you could run? I don't know how it works, but we went through the, tiny eyebrows era. We went through the low hipster jeans. We've been through all the era of things that you don't now have to wear because we already proved to you that they're a terrible idea, okay? So you can sit back and relax and either laugh at us or go, wow, those millennials really did the heavy lifting in the fashion world for us, and we appreciate them. I'd like to dedicate today's episode to sockets. Sockets, you are a wonderful invention. You gave us the choice of wearing socks with low-cut shoes so that we didn't get stinky shoes. And you were a lovely, lovely addition to the sock drawer. And I'm very, very sorry that in the last few years that Gen Z have told you that sockets are not cool and that we should not be wearing sockets anymore. And the same with you, ankle socks. You were a wonderful, wonderful thing. You gave us a little bit of skin while protecting our feet without having a shoe rubbing up against it. And for those of us that look ridiculous with pulled up crew socks because it makes us look stubby, we really appreciated the ankle sock. But again, if you wear an ankle sock these days, you will be ripped out by someone younger than you, which is what happened to me. Sean from the edge, I'm looking at you, ripping out my ankle sock game to the point I had to throw out all of my socks to get crew socks. Drives me crazy. Never know what to do with them. Wearing my Lululemon tights. Do I wear the sock up on the outside of the tight? Or do I wear the sock on the inside of the tight? Because if I wear it on the inside of the tight, then you can see the sock. And if I'd worn an ankle sock, you wouldn't even be having this problem. If I wear them tucked on the outside, do I look like I'm off to go skiing? I can't decide. But I miss ankle socks and I miss sockets. And I dedicate this episode to the glorious inventors of those beautiful socks who I miss deeply. Deeply. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Sharon, just wear them anyway. Who cares what other people think? Me, I care what other people think. And I don't want people to think that I'm, almost 40, even though I am, and I'm a mom, even though I am. I want people to still think I'm cool. And so if crew socks are cool, I will swallow my pride, throw out my ankle socks, and I will ride at dawn for the crew sock. Okay? But God, I miss them. I miss them so much. Pull yourself together. Now, I want to tell you a story about what happened to me this weekend. I was away on holiday in the Mount with my family, catching up with some friends we hadn't seen for ages. It was so nice. But my 3-year-old is in a stage where you have to constantly remind him, gentle hands, you can't just kick a stranger, all that sort of stuff. To the point that I have to say to him, gentle hands and we use our words, because that's what kind people do. That's a song I made up, and I'm sorry it doesn't fully rhyme. But we were at a cafe, and my son wanted to play with his rugby ball. But this cute little kid who would have been almost 2 picked up the rugby ball, and I went over and I was like, oh God, the tantrum's starting. Everyone's looking at us in the cafe. He's screaming. He just wants his ball back. So I go over, I bend down to this little girl. I was like, oh, do you mind if we give back his ball? Because he really wants to go outside and play with it. And it's his favorite. It's his special ball. And then the dad comes over. I'm like, great. The dad's going to come over and sort this out. I can sort out my screaming child. Everyone else in here is getting a lesson in contraception right now of why they don't want to have kids because they have to deal with them screaming in a cafe. It's on a Saturday morning. But that didn't happen. He just came over and he goes, oh, she's just looking at it. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm glad she's looking at it, but can she give it back? Because I'm dealing with a psycho 3-year-old who is escalating. No, doesn't give it back. So I have to pick him up, kicking and screaming, taking him outside, trying to calm him down. And then somehow, my 7-year-old, who's very reasonable, he goes over and gets the ball back. We go back inside to get the ball, but at this point, my 3-year-old is fuming. He has left his body and he is angry. And he went over and he kicked this kid. I'm mortified. If you've ever experienced your kid, because they're still learning how to communicate, hitting or kicking someone else's kid, it is horrible. And you're mortified because it makes you feel like you're a crappy parent or something. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If this happens in the reverse, I'm always like, it's fine. I understand. Like, they're 3, they don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Unless it's happening like repetitively and it's like getting a bit psycho. And that didn't happen. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I turn around, I'm like, to my son, I'm like, that is not acceptable behavior. You cannot do that. You need to fix a problem. You need to apologize to this little girl, blah, blah, blah. The dad comes over, picks her up and goes, you should have booted him back. If people kick you, you boot them back. You don't let them hurt you. And I thought he was doing a joke. And I was like, yeah, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, fair enough, I'm so sorry. But then he just kept saying it. He was like, in future, if someone hits you or they kick you, you hit them and kick them back even harder. And I was like, oh my God, like, he's 3. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's learning and I'm trying to navigate this with him. And if it was the other way around, I would not have been saying, hey, you should have kicked that kid back really hard. It was so awkward. We had to leave the cafe and he just kept turning around and like giving me the evils and then telling his kid that she should go over there and boot my kid. And I'm like, this is not how it works. We go down to the park. Same thing happens, but in the reverse. And this other kid kicks Ruben and I'm like, my son. And I was like, it's fine. I totally understand. He just did it. Like, I understand they don't know how to use their words yet. It's fine. And, and you just kind of separate them and you move on. And the other parents, they all understood. But I just have not been able to get over this. I'm like, who tells their kid? You should have just booted them back really hard. Like, he's 3. He's angry. If you just helped me get the ball back, it would never have escalated to that point. If you hadn't just been like, she's playing with it when it's not even her toy, it would never have got to that point because he never would have like worked himself up into a frenzy. And it just, it made me so mad. So if you've had an experience like that before, there is nothing more awkward. And I just want to let you know, you are not doing anything wrong. Okay? It is a stage that all kids go through and it's really awkward, it's embarrassing, and it's so frustrating. But if you're actively trying to teach them to be gentle and to not do that stuff, you're doing the right thing. You really, really are. And you're doing a good job because it can be an absolute devastating mind F. It's horrible. And my friend and I went out for lunch later on and we actually saw these women in a restaurant and they're like, oh, we saw you and blah, blah, and that was such a weird reaction from that guy. We really felt for you. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, that was awkward as hell. But that wasn't the only dilemma. The other dilemma was I was going out for lunch and I had absolutely no idea what to wear because I am trying to embrace the baggy jean. Okay? The baggy jean. So let me show you. I'm wearing my baggy jeans right now. See? I don't know if you can see them, but they're baggy. I'll stand back here a little bit. Oh God, I'm walking into a light. They're baggy. They've got a wide leg all the way down. They're a bit cropped. They're assembly label. Love them. Great. But my problem is that to wear these jeans, I then have to wear something tight on top of them. So like the top I'm wearing right now, it's like a tight cropped top, right? But I was cold and I had to wear a sweatshirt. So I had to put a sweatshirt over the top. And then I look like a house. Because I'm curvy, I'm not like teeny, and wearing oversized stuff is not flattering on me, and I look ridiculous. And it brought me back to this message that one of my best mates, Nina, sent me. Now, to give you a background on Nina and I have been friends for 20 years, over 20 years. And the first time I met Nina was after like a punk show that we had been to, and we were in the same like group of guy friends, and she was wearing leggings with Chuck Taylors with a denim skirt over the top, a really cool band shirt, a studded belt. She had awesome like long black hair. Her makeup was perfect like eyeliner. And I just thought that she was the coolest, fashionablest person I've ever seen. And she also is the sort of person that's really welcoming and really fun, and she's just honestly walking sunshine. And she, to me, is a style icon. I get this voice message from her because we're about to go on a girls trip to Wellington, and she's freaking out because, like me, she is like so confused about what we can and cannot wear as millennials these days. So this is the voice message I received from Nina, and I am sure that many of you will relate, and it made me laugh so hard.
I feel like fashion all of a sudden got to this point where it no longer works for us for our age. And like all these mums at my school are wearing like a dad sneaker and then like a big thick pant that's heavy with a stripe down it. And like a bright fun color, and then like a big oversized jumper and a hat, and they look, Sharon, phenomenal, like so chic. I've tried to wear this shit and I don't know what happens. It just does not work for me. And I'm like, why? It's not fair. Why can they, and they all wear these like big oversized baggy shirts, lots of necklaces, and like their big baggy jeans over their shirt. They look stunning, gorgeous, chef's kiss, perfection. I put some baggy jeans on. I did it. I was like, I'm getting some, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and be cool like everyone else. Put the baggy jeans on, and Sam rolls into the bedroom and was crying, laughing. And he's like, I'm so confused right now. Are you trying to be a skater? Or are you like, who are you? And I was like, I'm a cool mom. I'm a cool mom. And he's like, they look cool. I just want skinny jeans to come back. Okay, can we please? They're amazing. They are flattering. They look great. Love it. Or just even a straighter leg, but a baggy jean, I look ginormous. I cannot do it. Rant over.
And she sent me that. I was like, oh my God, because on the weekend I had gone to watch my friend Fuchsia play ice hockey up the Auckland Steel, and I was wearing my Swan Dry. And when I put my baggy jeans underneath it, I looked ridiculous. So I wore my skinny jeans. And I walked over and I knew straight away, I was like, oh no, my friend Lucy's going to be there. And Lucy is a stylist, and she is just honestly the most put together, beautiful, looks good in anything human. And I walked over and I was like, I know I'm wearing skinny jeans, but the other ones made me look ridiculous. And she just looked at me, she goes, wow, they are really, really skinny jeans. I was like, oh no, I look like I'm going to go ride a motorcycle. So we need to try and set some boundaries for ourselves right now, because I need help. Nina clearly needs help. You might need help. And I've got Lucy to join us for the podcast to tell us how to dress effortlessly cool, because she does it on her Instagram all the time and her TikTok. I'll put that in our show notes so that you can check it out. But Lucy is the expert at this stuff, and we have to ask her. Please welcome my friend, but also writer and stylist, Lucy Slide.
Hello.
Hi, Lucy.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
Oh my gosh, I got so many questions. I've written them down on my phone because as you may have heard in the voice memo I sent from Nina, there's a lot of millennials that we feel like we're not doing it right when it comes to fashion. So what are we doing wrong? Like, why can some of us just not get that cool look that so many people have? Because I am so jealous.
Well, no one's doing anything wrong. I mean, are you looking at these people on TikTok or whatever who are like 20 years younger than you, who are dressing in a completely different way? Like, no offense, but some of them are. We need to stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah, because that's a very good. That's a very, very good point. That is the first place we're going wrong, because icons that we're looking at either are billionaires that are affording tailored designer clothing, or we're looking at the young cool kids at work, which was definitely what I've been doing. But it's just, it feels like it's a hard thing to get right sometimes. Like, I'll try and do, the baggy wide leg jeans, which I love, but the top part of it, if I want to wear a sweatshirt or something, straight away it's like baggy and baggy, it doesn't quite work. So is there a way that you can make those work where it's still kind of, not to sound like my mum, flattering on your body?
Yeah, absolutely. And I hate the term flattering because are we wearing clothes to show off our bodies? I mean, maybe you are, but some of us don't want to do that. And so always choosing things that are flattering is also very subjective. A really good starting point, I think, is to look at your proportions of your outfit. So you say you want to wear baggy jeans, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
there's your baggy element. If you put a baggy top on top, are you then feeling a bit too slouchy, like all the proportions are the same? If you love that top, tuck it in. Nothing wrong with tucking it in and changing the proportion of the t-shirt. If you really want to play up the baggy jeans and get that like slouchy, relaxed vibe, which might be what you've been seeing on these people whose style that you like, then
Mm.
go with a slightly more fitted top. And if you feel uncomfortable with that, tie something around your waist. It's all about playing with different elements of your outfit to create something that looks really balanced.
Yeah, because it's an interesting thing too, where there seems to be all these tricks where, because sometimes when you tuck it in, it doesn't quite look right. And then I remember Sophie, a girl that used to work with us, she taught me the trick of how you tuck the front of your t-shirt under the front of your bra and things like that. Are there other and it worked perfectly. I was like, oh my God, I now have the perfect crop over the top of my jeans, and it looked awesome. But are there any other kind of tricks and hacks that you kind of use when you're, doing your cool TikTok videos, or if you're styling somebody else or helping them with their wardrobe?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you've got a button-up shirt like I'm wearing, you can actually play with how you button it up. So you could take, I can't really show you right now, but the on TikTok is the perfect place to go and look for all these styling hacks. There are so many. You can tuck the bottom of the shirt up and sort of loop it round another one of your buttons to, make
Oh.
it look like your shirt's tucked in without getting the bulk around your waistband. Or I saw a great trick the other day with an oversized t-shirt and someone got a bangle, like a silver bangle, put it on the inside and created sort of like a ruching effect with a bangle and a hair tie. There's so many you can do, or you could just tuck it in, like
That is so smart. Like, how do people even come
I
up
know
with these things? I guess it's just kind of
it's
playing around with
totally
it, eh?
saved. They're all great. But I think the problem is when we try to emulate other people's outfits is that we're trying to copy them exactly and they might not fit our own personal style. But in Nina's voice note to you, she kind of the way she described these outfits that she was seeing on the mums at school, I think what she was trying to get at was that she really liked their vibe. And she tried
Yeah.
with the baggy jeans and she was like, "Oh, I just can't do baggy jeans." Well, she likes skinny jeans, so that's fine. Keep the skinny jeans, but their vibe to me sounded like it was very like chill and relaxed. So she should try and bring that in another way. So maybe she wears her skinny jeans with an oversized t-shirt and some necklaces and pulls on some elements of that style to make it her own without completely copying what they're wearing because it's just not her.
She is going to thrive after she hears this. She's good, because we were sitting there talking about this afterwards, and we were like, do we need to burn our skinny jeans? Do we need to get rid of them? Because if we wear them, we're going to get mocked every time. And she's going to lose her mind now that she doesn't have to do that, because it's such a great thought of way. Like, I've got some really holy jeans and I refuse to throw them out, but they are so tight. But whenever I wear them, I just get mocked all day, but they're so comfortable.
But
They're so
the other
comfortable.
option is, okay, skinny jeans and baggy jeans are vastly different, okay? So if you want to change up the silhouette of your jeans, but you don't want to go all the way to baggy, then find something that's, a step up. So a step up, I would say,
Ah.
from between skinny jeans and wide leg jeans would be like a classic Levi's 501. They're straight leg,
Ooh.
they fit really nicely in the bum. They give you that straight silhouette without being skinny. So you get some of that ease and relaxed look that she was probably seeing in these mums whose style she liked from school, right? But we're not going all the way to baggy jeans, just like
You're
incrementally stepping up.
That is such a great way to look at it, because now you're saying it makes perfect sense to me. I'm like, that makes so, because all the people that I would look at and be like, oh my God, I'm going to try and get clothes like that, and they look ridiculous on me. We have completely different body types. And so now that you're wording it in that way, it makes so much more sense. And I'm like, there's so many things in my wardrobe that I just stay away from that now I can kind of play with a little bit better. Look at you. You're smart. We needed to get you on earlier. My last question for you though is, because I've seen you do, if you don't follow Lucy on Instagram or TikTok, I'm going to put her handle in the show notes, and you absolutely must, because her Get Ready With Me videos are so great, because you have this really great way of pairing stuff that you've thrifted, stuff that you've found on designer wardrobe, and new stuff, and it all works so beautifully together. But what would you say is the key things that we should have in like our, I don't know, is it called a capsule wardrobe? The like basics that you have to build around?
Yeah, I think that there's a perception that a capsule wardrobe is like jeans, a white shirt, a good blazer, and
Yes.
absolutely. But I think your capsule has to be things that make up a wardrobe that fits your own personal style. So, yes, find a really good pair of jeans that works with a lot of different things. Find pieces that you can wear for different parts of your life, not just for one. So you might find you might get a really great blazer that is nice and slouchy and oversized that you can wear to work, but you can also wear it to Pilates and then go out for brunch afterwards in it. You
Yes.
want to get like a lot of wear out of the clothes that you have rather than keeping them just for one thing. So I think it's about finding those key elements that really work for your personal style. And yes, it is like a couple of great pairs of pants, some really good t-shirts, a button-up shirt that's like, not super fitted, that you can wear it open, you can wear it as a beach cover-up, and just finding elements that make your wardrobe work for your lifestyle. You have to think about what it is that you do on a daily basis. So I find myself really drawn to, like, let's say beautiful going out dresses and things like that, but I don't go out
Yeah.
that much anymore. So investing in those types of things just doesn't really make sense for my lifestyle and what I should have in my wardrobe. So I think first and foremost, you have to think about what it is that you're doing every day and find pieces that are going to work for your own lifestyle before looking at
Oh,
anyone else's capsule wardrobe.
you are so smart. Lucy Slight, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And as I was saying, have a look at Lucy's Instagram. Also, check out her Instagram where she sells her secondhand clothes, because there is some amazing stuff in there as well if you're into like thrifting and things like that. But Lucy, appreciate you. And I can't wait to get Nina's feedback on this. It's going to be very interesting.
You must tell me what she says.
God, I love Lucy. She's literally one of the nicest people in the world. She's married to one of my old co-hosts who I adore, and she's an amazing mum. But then she's also just so articulate, and she makes fashion sound so easy, which to her probably does seem easy, but for people like me, fashion is not easy. I thought what I would do right now, though, is just quickly ring Nina, the inspo for this episode, and tell her that she doesn't have to throw out her skinny jeans.
Hello, Miss Sharon Casey. How are you?
Nines, I've got great news for you.
Tell me.
So, you know how you sent me the voice message about your skinny jeans and how you're not feeling baggy jeans?
Yeah.
Well, I just interviewed a stylist for my podcast, and
Yes.
the good news is you don't have to throw out your skinny jeans, babe. They're still cool. They're still cool.
Stop it.
You can wear them, and and you're going to have to go back and listen to it, but she's given us some styling advice on how you can get away with wearing your skinny jeans and still be cool.
Wait. Am I though?
No, oh my God, I just did a whole podcast episode about this. so that you would feel more comfortable and other millennial women would feel happy about their skinny jeans. So yes, you will feel cool, I promise.
I'm so excited.
I just thought I'd ring and give you the update.
I love you.
I love
Thank
you.
And thank you for making my dilemma with jeans a priority. I really appreciate it.
I wouldn't ever hold out on you. And what is the use of having a platform if you can't use it to help others?
Exactly. Oh my God, love you, babe.
Love you. See you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Oh, I love it. That's so women, isn't it? Like, just listening to her when she's like, even when you tell her that it's still cool, and she's like, am I though? Yes, bitch, you are. You are a fashionable queen. And you listening or watching this podcast right now, if you are like Nita and I, and you always don't feel confident when it comes to your fashion, and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, as my mum would say, wear the fucking jeans. Wear the t-shirt. Wear whatever makes you feel good, queen, because you are amazing. And on that note, we're going to end this podcast. We'll catch you up next week on Tuesday. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, whatever the fuck you're supposed to do on a podcast, and I will catch you back next week. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you.